Welcome back, everybody, to the Nerdcore Podcast, the podcast that reviews movies and talks that nerd shit. This is episode 762, and it is your review of Oliver Stone's Platoon. As always, is the nerd you're going to hear the host show alongside my wonderful co-host, Brad Young Yoda.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to a wonderful Tuesday night.
Yes, sir. Tuesday night, live early and ad-free over on patreon.com/the nerdy, not the nerdy Chicano, the Nerdcore. And available to all our patrons for $1 a month. Free, ad-free, and early before it drops for everybody else in the public. But before we can get into the review today, Brad, how are you doing, bro?
I'm doing alright. Went to work today. Did work, came home. That's about it.
Nice.
Nothing to really report today, luckily. It was a pretty okay day.
Yeah.
I have a short week this week, so I'm kind of happy about that. So.
Yeah, it's good old Bunny Day, Easter this weekend.
Well, I took Thursday off.
Yeah.
So, and I took next Thursday off as well. So, I just figured 3-day week sounded better for a little bit.
Brenda's Christian or Catholic, Brad?
Christian.
Okay. So they don't go that crazy for Easter like that, do they?
No, we don't have kids or anything like that. So
Catholics go crazy for Easter.
Catholics have superheroes too.
Yeah, we do.
I was almost Catholic.
As somebody who was raised Catholic.
I was almost Catholic.
Yeah.
Yeah, we almost became Catholic, but my mom would have had to find her ex-husband and ask for forgiveness or something to that effect, and that wasn't happening.
You're like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah, nah. So we never became Catholic.
Yeah. I've had a long fucking day, man. A long fucking day. So tired, dude. I had so much shit.
I'm so glad you're awake though.
To put away.
Usually when you're this tired, it's like, are we podcasting or home?
No, I went straight to sit down and watch the movie. And it was like, I just finished maybe 10 minutes before we had to start. So I just laid down for a little bit, but I wasn't, I was just scrolling on my phone. So, yeah, I had so much shit to put away, man. There was so much shit I put away today. And I'm just so fucking tired, dude. I'm tired. I'm cranky. I'm old. And I work with
children. And I work with children.
Yeah. No, I don't. I don't know, but no, I'm just really fucking tired, dude. I said no gym today, man. I did my full workout at fucking work. That's what I did.
That's how I felt like on Sunday.
Yeah.
I was carrying buckets of dirt and all that shit. And
yeah.
Yeah, my back is finally stopped aching from all the picking shit up off the ground.
Yeah. I'm beat, bro. I can't. I've had it up to here with today. So, yeah. But, I still had enough time. I still had time to sit down and watch this movie. And we're going to talk about this movie.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, man. Just another one of these reviews this week, guys. This month of just random stuff that we want to review that we haven't watched. So, because we overshot. Well, we didn't overshoot. We're delayed with Kurosawa month, so
we did some extra Kurosawa too to.
There's just some days we couldn't do it. That week we couldn't do it, so we had to push it back. So
that's okay though. I think we picked some bangers of movies.
Yeah, for sure. I did not say that sarcastically. I literally say that No,
Nosferatu was good.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that review.
Yeah. But with that said, man, yeah, dude, I mean, not much else going on over here in my life. I just worked a lot.
Work. Sleep.
Work. Yep. 100%, Brad.
Yep.
So, yeah, other than that, I guess it's time for us to get into the review then.
All right.
So, without further ado, if you guys have not watched Platoon, you should probably get out of here if you care about spoilers. But if you don't care about spoilers, or you've already seen the film, go ahead and stay. Either how it goes, this is your one and only spoiler warning, and it is in effect after these words from our sponsors in a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Today's episode of the Nerd Court is brought to you by SeatGeek. Whether you want to see your favorite band, sports team, or comedian, SeatGeek has you covered. We're proud to be partnering with SeatGeek to offer you $10 off your first order with code TheNerdCourt. That's $10 off your first order at SeatGeek.com with code THENERDCORPS. So take a seat at your next live event with SeatGeek. Thank you. Now let's get back to today's video. So, Brad, let's go ahead and introduce him to Platoon.
All right, Ro. Platoon is a 1986 American war film written and directed by Oliver Stone, starring Tom Berenger, Willem Dafoe, Charlie Sheen, Keith David, Kevin Dillon, John C. McGinley, Forrest Whitaker, and Johnny Depp. It is the first film of a trilogy of Vietnam War films directed by Stone, followed by Born on the 4th of July in 1989 and Heaven and Earth 1993. The film, based on Stone's experience from the war, follows a new U.S. Army volunteer, Sheen, serving in Vietnam while his platoon sergeant and his squad leader, Berenger and Dafoe, argue over the morality in the platoon and of the war itself. Stone wrote the screenplay based upon his experiences as a U.S. infantryman in Vietnam to counter the vision of the war portrayed in John Wayne's The Green Berets. Although he wrote scripts for films such as Midnight Express and Scarface, Stone struggled to get the film developed until Hemdale Film Corporation acquired the project, along with Salvador. Filming took place in the Philippines in February 1986. 4 days. Platoon was the first Hollywood film to be written and directed by a veteran of the Vietnam War. Upon its release, Platoon received critical acclaim for Stone's directing and screenplay, the cinematography, battle sequences, realism, and the performances of Sheen, Dafoe, and Berenger. The film was a box office success upon its release, grossing $138.5 million domestically against its $6 million budget. Becoming the third highest grossing domestic film of 1986, the film was nominated for 8 Academy Awards at the 59th Academy Awards and won 4. Best Picture, Best Director for Stone, Best Sound, and Best Film Editing. In 1998, the American Film Institute placed Platoon at number 83 in their AFI's 100 Years, 100 Movies poll. In 2019, the film was selected for preservation in the United States National Film Registry by the Library of Congress as being culturally, historically, or aesthetically significant. And so, cinematography, Robert Richardson, edited by Claire Simpson, music by George Delarue, and a running time of 120 minutes, and as they said, a budget of $6 million with a box office $138.5 million. I don't think you're seeing those numbers nowadays for a war film.
So, I mean, Brad, I've never watched this film. I always heard about it, though, mainly because, of course, Willem Dafoe's performance in this. They're like, oh, it's possibly one of Willem's best performances in his whole career. And I just never had a chance to finally sit down and watch it. And, dude, I have to say, this is a really good Vietnam War era film, dude. It was genuinely a big surprise. Now, it isn't an Apocalypse Now, and it's not a Full Metal Jacket, but it's still a pretty damn good movie, man. I think the overall story here of like a whole platoon that's divided between these two leaders who obviously have very different ideologies and the way they interact with the war, and you really do see like the really ugly side of us being in Vietnam, and then you see like, you know, the more like compassionate, the people who are like literally just like, why the fuck are we here? You know, the people who were just kind of questioning why the fuck they were here and like not wanting to like, you know, follow these orders that, you know, they felt like were inhumane. And yeah, I mean, I thought this movie was really good. Of course, Willem Dafoe is incredible in it. But Brad, what are your initial thoughts?
I'm kind of the same with you, Ro. I've heard about this movie for a long, long time. Always wanted to watch it, just never sat down to do it. So I thought I would take the chance because I saw something. I forget what I saw, but they were talking about Oliver Stone on some news or something, and they had mentioned Oliver Stone was a Vietnam War veteran, which, you know, got me to thinking, well, I should watch his Vietnam War film because honestly, it'd probably be the most realistic portrayal out of any of them because he was actually there. At least in my mind, that's how
Yeah.
I would think. I thought this movie was terrific. I think it is probably a foundational war movie. Up there with Apocalypse Now and Full Metal Jacket, I'll say out of the three, this is probably my third favorite out of those.
Oh yeah.
Same as
Yeah.
you. But this cast that we didn't even mention is stacked.
Oh yeah.
I
Fucking
mean, I'll
Defoe,
run through
Charlie
again.
Sheen. Yeah.
Charlie Sheen, Tom Berenger, Defoe, Keith David, Forrest Whitaker, Kevin Dillon, Johnny Depp, who, by the way, when he first appeared on the screen, I'm like, is that Val Kilmer? Because he had the whole Val Kilmer haircut.
Yep.
And I mean, rest in peace, Val Kilmer. He just passed away last month, so he was still kind of on the mind. And then, of all people, Tony Todd.
Yep. Tony fucking Todd, man.
Tony Todd, Candyman.
Yep. And contrary to like some movies that have stacked casts like this, like they all just do such a great job with
So
each
good.
other, and no one's trying to outdo anyone. They're all really working together really well to like have a great overall
Surprisingly,
performance.
with the egos we've known of like Sheen and Forrest Whitaker and probably Berenger up there. I mean, just with those egos in the room, and they all play their parts perfectly. I mean, I loved when Forrest Whitaker was on the screen. I loved when Defoe, like, I'm surprised Defoe didn't win an award for his portrayal. I'm surprised Berenger didn't either.
I believe it was was he nominated for this one?
I have no idea. I don't know, but both of those should have been nominated, in my opinion. Berenger and Defoe. But the cinematography in parts of this I thought were great. I will admit, Apocalypse Now, because I mean I don't want to technically compare them, but they are the war movies like Full Metal Jacket and Apocalypse Now.
Yeah.
I think when you compare the cinematography in that, I think those two went out. But I
Yeah.
think what Oliver Stone does in this is you're in the mud with them. Like you're trying to see 6 inches in front of your face to see if the enemy's coming for you in that first hour. And in that second hour, you're kind of in the background and you're watching them. They've lost one of their buddies. He's been ruthlessly killed, and they go into a village and they just tear that shit apart. And as Charlie Sheen tells them, his character, they've become animals. And that's what they have. And you're kind of like watching over them do this. And in the first half of the film, you really feel for these guys. Like they're out in, the jungle, not necessarily because they want to be, but just because they were poor. And that's really all it was. Like they even mention it. They were poor, and this was a way out of poverty. And that's kind of how military's kind of always been.
Yep. Yes, so both Defoe and Berenger were nominated for supporting actor in this movie.
Well, I'm glad the studio put that, got that behind them.
Yeah. Well, they both deserve it. They both really deserve it.
Because without them, you don't have that clash like you were talking about between, the two ideologies. Where Defoe has been in the muck for so long, like he is so disillusioned to it. He knows we're not going to win. He knows this is all, we're losing lives for nothing. Whereas you have Berenger, who is basically on the side to kill them all and let God sort them out.
Yeah. Robert Richardson's cinematography, man. I mean, it's just fantastic. This movie looks great.
It's good. Yeah.
The lighting at night, just
Spooky shit.
great stuff.
I mean, that final battle scene, it had me kind of reminded me kind of like Fury when they just kept coming, and you had Red hiding behind. Oh yeah, Red from Scrubs.
Yeah.
The Doc from Scrubs was in this terrific performance too, but he's hiding, and you don't know who's going to survive this. I mean, they even killed off the lieutenant, who like we kind of figured. Because that lieutenant had no reason to be there.
Yeah,
He
pretty
had
much.
no leadership qualities at all. I mean, with Defoe and Berenger, at least they had leadership qualities, even if Berenger was kind of a psycho.
Yeah. Um, but man, I thought the movie was really good, Brad. The score too. I
Oh
thought the
yes.
score was really good too.
The only issue I have with the score is I noticed he did use the same song quite a bit.
Oh yeah,
But it's a good song and it kind of fits the whole movie, so I wasn't mad at it.
yeah, yeah. But
But I also I just want to bring up I also find it hilarious that Stone did this because of the way they portrayed a John Wayne Vietnam movie, and he didn't like the portrayal, so he made what it was actually like.
yep. And I think he does a great job with it, bro. I really do. I think that he does a great job with it, and the overall message here just really stands out. And I'm interested to see what these other two films look like and what they tackle.
Yeah,
Because if this is really good, I can only imagine what the other ones are.
I mean I feel
The
like
other
we
ones are
could
like,
I feel like we totally could have Oliver Stone month and throw those on there.
yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure.
Although
I
Born
know
on the Fourth
he
of
did the JFK film, right?
I think so. And Born on the 4th of July, though, does star Tom Cruise, by the way.
Yeah, yeah, they all can be winners, huh?
But Heaven and Earth stars Tommy Lee Jones. So there you go.
Yeah, yeah. Um, but dude, just fantastic movie. Really hurt to see Willem Dafoe get gunned down like that.
Whoo! Yeah, Willem Dafoe's a badass in this movie. And also I don't remember ever seeing Dafoe that young. Well, Passion of the Christ or the Christ.
Oh yeah, yeah. Last Temptation of Christ.
Last Temptation of Christ. Brooklyn Jesus. I think that's the last time I've seen Dafoe like that young, and so it was kind of off-putting. It was like, whoa, like I forgot what he was like.
Yeah,
that
dude.
young.
Yeah, you're right. Like you kind of forget about that shit.
But total badass, and it makes you wonder, what if he had survived? Like he probably would have killed Berenger.
He probably would have.
Or
I'm gonna be
Staff
honest,
Sergeant
he
Barnes,
probably
sorry,
would have.
Not Berenger, Staff Sergeant Barnes. So
Yeah.
who he was playing.
But yeah, dude, good film, and yeah, just I don't think it's just on the on the level.
I think it gets close, but again, I don't want to compare it to Apocalypse Now and Full Metal Jacket, but those are the very well known Vietnam War era movies. So it's kind of hard not to be like,
yeah,
which would I prefer to watch?
yeah, and just but I also think those two films have more. I think they're just better made films.
But also, I wonder, I feel like Apocalypse Now, they probably spent a lot more. They,
100%.
Literally
Shot in the same area, though.
They literally napalmed a forest.
Yeah. Shot in the same area, though. So.
Actually, I kind of want to know. I want to know what Apocalypse Now cost to make.
Jeez, man. You're probably a good amount of money, Brad. But, yeah, Brad, what's your final verdict on...
31.5 million in 1979.
Jesus Christ. What's your final verdict on Platoon?
I really like this movie. But it's not, like you said, it's not to the level I think the other two are. But I'm going to give it a high score still because I think with another watch, I literally, I was not bored with this film. There wasn't really any pacing issues or anything. I just think, for a 31.5 million budget, if it had that, maybe it would have fucking, I don't know.
And for it to come from somebody, for it to come, straight from, the experiences of somebody in the military is wow, yeah. You look at this stuff and it's yeah, I believe that this is what happened. I'm sure this is what happened. This is...
It's probably the most honest out of all of them, to be fair.
Yeah.
And, I think with the second watch, you'll probably get a higher score from me, because I really did enjoy this movie. But I'm going to give it a 9.25 out of 10. I think it's deserving of over 9. I think, a few more watches, it'd probably be a 9.5.
All right. I'm coming in a little lower than you, Brad. For me to put it up that high, for me to be putting it up on the levels of what's it called, of Full Metal Jacket and Apocalypse Now.
See,
so
and I think I gave those 10s, so I'm not even worried about that.
yeah, so I'm coming in at least like an 8.25, Brad. I think it's a great movie, with a great performance from Willem Dafoe and everybody else in there.
Even
but to me,
Sheen. Even Charlie Sheen was really good.
I had never seen Charlie Sheen in anything other than 2.5 Men before this. So it was very surprising when this motherfucker can actually act.
Yeah, what did you think?
I was like, wow, this guy can actually. But Brad, his dad is Martin Sheen, so it's like,
Yeah, that's true.
yeah,
That's true.
so it's the apple doesn't really fall far from the tree. But yeah, I was like, dude, I've never seen anything this dude's ever been in other than fucking 2.5 Men.
I still think Charlie Sheen should have made a cameo in the Mighty Ducks. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Okay.
His brother.
But yeah, I had never seen anything else that this guy has been in other than 2.5 Men. So, yeah, I was like, okay, well.
And technically his name is Carlos Estevez.
Yeah, Carlos Estevez, bro. Yeah.
Brother to Emilio of Mighty Duck fame.
Yep.
Martin Sheen just has good genetics, let's be real here.
I know, dude. It's crazy, right? Yeah. But with that said, that concludes our review of Platoon. As always, thank you guys for joining us. Check us out on the nerdcore.com, Twitter at the Nerdcore, Instagram at the Nerdcore, Letterboxd at the Nerdcore, TikTok at the Nerdcore, Patreon.com/Nerdcore. Discord link is in the description below. If you want to talk to us on the comments on YouTube, make sure you leave a comment there. Subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell so you don't miss another video, and leave a like on the video, as all that helps us out so freaking much. Helps the algorithm get us out to more people, so we have more people to talk with and more people to interact with. If you're listening to us on your favorite podcast, have a choice, leave a 5-star review and follow us on that app. All that helps us out a lot too. And of course, thank you to our patrons. Our patrons are the reasons why we do this, so they get this early before anybody else gets to watch it. This episode's coming in a little bit shorter than usual, but I'll be real honest, guys. I'm so fucking tired. I'm so tired and I still have to cook after this. I gotta go make my salmon so I can have lunch for the next couple days. So it's like I'm really fucking tired, dude. I'm tired as shit. But alas, I'll bitch when I'm dead. So I'll sleep when I'm dead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
2 Chainz.
Yep. So Brad, with that said, we are going to be back on Thursday for Patreon, and then it's gonna drop for the public later. But I'll be at a wedding from Friday to Sunday. From Sunday, but I'll be back like a Sunday afternoonish. So you'll see us again after Thursday on Sunday. But for now, that's all we got for you guys. Brad, send them out of here.
All right, rolling. Being host as always. Thank all those who join us in future chats. Thank our listeners out there, our Patreon supporters. We appreciate each and every one of you. And to end this episode, all I gotta say is, never fall asleep on ambush, motherfucker. Young, get out.